Hi guys, for those of you who don't know, I'm Johnny Chivers and I run this YouTube channel, Johnny Chivers Funny Enough. And what I've decided to do is document a bit of the journey of the channel. A lot of the channels I watch on YouTube kind of do hindsight videos back and look at their journey after the fact. However, this year for 2021, I've set some targets for the channel, my website, and a couple of other things I'm working on in the background. And rather than do videos in hindsight and say, this is what I've done, I thought I'd take videos as I go along, maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, and then we can review the progress. So in order to do this, we've got to do two things. We've got to look at where the channel currently sits and where I want it to go. So let's look at the goals. So for 2021, I really want to get the subscribers up on this channel. We're currently just sitting below 100 in the 90s, and I want to kind of push this to 500. Presently, I get about 1 new subscriber for every 1,000 views. We're just over 10,000 views on the channel. I think this rate needs to improve and realistically to hit the target of 500 new subscribers. And I've already started to take some steps in the new year to make this possible. So one of the things I need to do is increase the amount of impressions that I'm getting, or the amount of impressions that lead to conversion of someone watching the video. And this seems to be based on thumbnails. So if you look, I've started to change the thumbnails to something more colourful and interactive to the viewer, rather than just the kind of plain white background with my logo that I was using before. The other thing I'm trying to do is put myself on camera more. I think having a voice just narrating how services work on a computer can get very boring. So by putting a face to the voice, I hope that provides more information and also gives the channel a bit more of a personal touch as we go along. Aside from that, I want to do a couple of more kind of course-based things. So one of them's going to be a one-on-one service on different AWS topics. I've just done the Kinesis one. The video quality on it is probably the best I've done on a course so far. But my data engineering in 2021 definitely is better when I'm on camera. So I want to try and improve that as well as I go along. I'm just collating a data lake course in the background, which I'm hoping to release in the next few weeks. I'm also going to try and do kind of one-off videos on things like Python for AWS, like a 5 to 10 minute video that kind of gives a user or a new user to AWS the kind of core concepts of how to use Python without maybe an extreme knowledge of programming. And then another thing is trying to keep up to date with AWS. So I might try and do a video once a week or once every 2 weeks that kind of goes, these are the latest AWS updates for the big data ecosystem, and cut through a lot of that noise that comes out that isn't relevant to people in the data space and AWS especially. The other thing I would kind of like to do is get a certification course up on YouTube by the end of the year in full. Haven't quite decided what AWS certification course I would like to do the videos on, but I want to try and make that more interactive and less PowerPoint. And one of the things to do this would have me on camera explaining the theory with the interactive animations that I've put in the Data Engineering 2021 video. And then when we go to do the theory, we take it onto the console and do that interactively, where the screen is shared and possibly my face on screen at the same time, and we just do coding demos or going through services and making apps in order to learn for the certs. That might rule out the Cloud Practitioner cert because it's more theory based. So I might try and do the data analytics cert that I have personally as well and make that more interactive in the big data services. The problem is that's a slightly narrower audience, while the AWS Cloud Practitioner or Solutions Associate Architecture exam would drive a wider audience to the YouTube channel. So I haven't quite decided on that yet. I don't know whether to do something that's a bit more specialized and I'm a lot more confident in because I do it every day, or pick a cert like the AWS Solutions Architect that's got a broader range of person. I'll make that decision as we go along. I'm 5 times certified currently, including all 3 of those certifications that I just mentioned, and the professional architect and the developer. So I'll probably pick one that I have out of the 5 and then try and come up with some course content from there and see if I can make it work. And then the other thing I want to do, if I'll put it on screen now, is my website. It's kind of a bit bland right now. I'd like to make that kind of landing page a lot more fun and interactive for a user. Same probably goes for this about page. It's just, I put it together in a hurry. It's based on AWS using S3 buckets and JavaScript in the background. I'm not a front-end developer. I am definitely more of a big data developer. So these things are a little out of my depth right now, but I do enjoy the challenge. So I'm going to try and do it myself and make it look a bit better. And then the other thing is that there's really a search functionality lacking off this website. So there's loads of information in terms of videos, but trying to find it right now is impossible. So I'd like to put in the search functionality into the website. That would be a big hit as well for 2021. And then the last thing is, outside of kind of the website and YouTube, one of the things I'm in the background at the moment trying to do is create a resource, another web-based resource, focusing on ICT qualifications and certifications, making a revision tool for an individual, and trying to make that scalable, but also driven by the community itself, so the community can contribute to that learning resource in terms of revision materials. It's early days. I don't want to give too much away about it, about like names and how it'll work and what exactly, when I say revision materials and community driven, what that is. But I would hope to have the first iterations of the prototype launched before the end of 2021. So that's kind of like 10 to 11 months from now. I am already working on this idea in the background, but it still needs a lot more work. So that's kind of this first video. As I said, I'll try and do one every kind of 2 or 3 weeks when it makes sense. Obviously, I don't want to do more update videos than I need, because that will get in the way of me actually trying to achieve these goals, which is expand the viewership to 500 subscribers from its current 100 subscribers, make the content more interesting as I go along with me face to face, release AWS update videos on the data kind of sphere within that technology stack, rather than just being bombarded with everything that AWS do all the time, put my face on camera more, get a certification course out there as well. And then in terms of the website, I just want to make that more visually appealing and user friendly for you guys. And then the last thing, the big thing that I'm trying to work on outside of this, is to create a new revision resource for people who want to get certified in ICT, but make that scalable and driven by the community itself. And again, that's in early days. So I hope you enjoyed this kind of update video of where I want to take the channel. It'll be an interesting resource for people to see as well, because as I document when I go along, there's going to be mistakes and there's going to be hard days. And rather than doing this from a rosy picture or possibly a complete failure picture down the line, we'll get that kind of how's it going as I go along. So that's everything from me, guys. I've been Johnny Chivers. As usual, check my website out, www.johnnychivers.co.uk, and please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, because it might actually help me hit that 500 mark.